I'm Larry Ridley, and this is Madden 17 on EA Sports. We should have a good one on tap here today. It's the Jets coming in at 6-5, going up against the Colts, who come in at 3-7. So for the call of this Week 13 matchup, let's bring in our commentary team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Larry, thanks. We are across the Hudson from Midtown Manhattan at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Tonight, we wrap up the first 13 weeks of the season with a good Monday nighter between the Indianapolis Colts and the New York Jets. Hi again, everyone. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you look at this Jets ball club. They come in playing some decent football, 5-3 in their last 8 games.
And how about that defense last week? They pitched a shutout, and it's really more like a no-hitter because they absolutely dominated that game from the opening whistle.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Colts, they were losers their last time out. They're going to try to get back in the win column, but obviously they're going to have to do that in a hostile environment.
And sometimes it actually works to your advantage. Now you've got to band together your team, the us against the world mentality. Let's see if they can use it and get a victory.
So now here comes the Jet offense as they get ready to take over. They're led out by their quarterback in his 12th season in the league, and second at the helm of the Jets, it's Ryan Fitzpatrick.
How about the career he's had? I mean, if he's hanging jerseys on the wall at his house.
He's got quite a few.
Quite a few, right? Right? St. Louis, Cincinnati, right? Buffalo.
And Tennessee, Houston.
And now the Jets. And the offseason, boy, who knew how much he meant to a team? And you saw the reaction of the Jets players when they thought maybe Ryan Fitzpatrick wouldn't re-sign with them. They wanted him back in a big way, especially his receivers.
A look at the starting side for the offense and Brandon Marshall.
I think the thing that impresses me most about Brandon Marshall is his strength. How he runs his routes, how he wins against defensive backs downfield, how it's so tough to keep him from getting the football.
They stay on the ground. Forte again. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. And it's still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to third down. And let's go through the starting defense for Indianapolis.
Mike Adams can cover receivers whether he's playing in the slot or outside the numbers at cornerback.
Third play of this opening drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 3. From the gun, Fitzpatrick to Decker over the middle. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks. Good use of the pass there to pick up the first down against a defensive look that they had specifically prepared for, they told us, coming into this one.
Certainly seems like they're holding all the right cards now, doesn't it? Because of their preparation. Went back, watched the tape, studied the tendencies, and they feel like they had them down cold, and they were able to use the pass against them.
Off the draw from Fitzpatrick, it's Forte. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
The best play callers in any league know how to break their tendencies. They study themselves, they self-scout, and they realize most of the time you don't call a draw play on 1st and 10. So every so often you insert that play just to make the defense think, even if it's not successful.
Time running out here on the play clock. Again they run, again it's Forte. And he's going to bowl his way forward to the 48. 8 yards on the run, and that cuts this down to a 3rd and about 5.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
And they'll get 14 yards out of it and a fresh set of downs.
They were full scale, loose, flexible, finding a way to catch the ball in some traffic for a key 1st down.
Yeah, really a nice job of adjusting to the ball in the air. Not the most accurate of throws, but able to adjust and make the ground. So the offense has it 1st and 10. Fitzpatrick now to throw on first down. Sets up the screen to Forte. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up second.
I keep hearing all this chatter about what Matt Forte is going to bring to an offense. Well, we know he can do a little bit of everything. He did that in Chicago. A little bit different than Chris Ivory, especially in catching the football.
And you reminded me of the stat from a couple years ago, 102 catches when he was in Chicago in 2014.
Look out, New York. This guy wearing Jets green and white, he's ready to go.
Wilson snags it left side. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
Again, it's Fitzpatrick. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it. Sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. On now is Nick Folk in the field goal unit for the Jets. On the left hash, this from 48 yards. And Folk's kick is good. And the Jets hit the board first. It's 3-0. So they get the ball first here in front of the home crowd under the lights, and they get 3 points out of it.
And there's something about a night game, isn't there? A little extra snap, a little extra crisp in the air. What a terrific way to get things started. A little extra excitement, a little extra dazzle for the home crowd.
After the made field goal, back out is Nick Folk to kick this one off. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So the Colts now coming out for their opening drive. And they'll be led out by their quarterback, the Stanford man. It's Andrew Luck.
I love everything about Andrew Luck's game, but I also love his worldliness. Some of his formative years were spent growing up outside of the United States. And I think that that's helped him when he came back because now he's seen the world. And I think that helped him mature a little bit as well.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against?
Encroachment, defense. Still first down.
They come up in an offset eye. Luck gives to his running back Gore. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32. The Pro Bowler, Muhammad Wilkerson, brings him down. And this offense sometimes is predicated on the ageless wonder, Frank Gore.
And he wants to be a guy with limitless carries. Frank Gore gets better and better with each carry. Really batters defenses with his inside running.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up second down here. On second down, here's Luck. And the reception made by Dante Moncrief. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
That throw good for 4. It's second down. And a look now at how the Jets line up defensively.
David Harris is a playmaker and inside linebacker, and also one of the most durable guys in the league.
So they complete the pass, and now they face a second down. They'll run it now out of the the gun. He can't bring him down.
The weight room does work.
And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
That's a good, nice, crisp run for a first down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
On first down, Luck. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
Today's NFL, these big guys are featured receivers. They move them all over the place to try and find good matchups, and they had one. They were just unable to complete the pass.
Second down, this is Gore. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs. 1 quarter down here on a frigid December night. 3-0 is our score, and we will return to MetLife Stadium after this.
This presentation of the NFL on EA Sports is brought to you by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Back with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. The Colts in possession of the football to begin quarter number 2. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. Shift together here from the D-line. Gore again here on first down. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
To me, that's a superior play by the backer because he was allowed to, I think, run free on it and make that play. His defensive linemen, they covered things down for him because offensive guys, the linemen, what they're trying to do, as you know, is block the guy at the point of attack and then climb to the next level and get the linebacker. And you're not allowed to climb. You got a free hitter, and that's what we saw there. And a really nice play resulted for them.
And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is, and really a lot of the...
He'll be taken down. The Jets get in there for the sack. The Pro Bowler, Muhammad Wilkerson, in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs, they covered well, allowed for the sacks.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel so I could pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they? A dime? What were they?
15 cents.
So on 4th down, the Colts will turn it over to Pat McAfee to punt this one away. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. And it's out of bounds. Now we'll see what the side judge says. He says out at the 8-yard line. New York set to take the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
They'll bring one of the tight ends in motion left. The drive begins with a run by Forte. And he stopped immediately there. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Now that's the type of play that'll fire up the defense. Hold them to 1 yard on a first down run. It'll be interesting to see if the offense decides to press the run at all or if they'll abandon it now after gaining only 1 on that play.
They'll need to get the play off quickly. Here's Fitzpatrick. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
And to the left side here, Wilson. And he's able to pick up the 1st down here before he goes down at the 26.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
Forte, the lone running back. They go play action here on 1st down. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They'll come out in the pistol. On 1st down, this is Forte. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Brandon, as a defender, after a big running play against my group, I'm actually happy to see a draw play. Why? It takes a little bit longer to...
Looking for Marshall, but it's intercepted. Picked off by a former 1st-round pick, Patrick Robinson. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
On 1st down, it's Gore. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brandon, that play ended so fast, it's almost as if the quarterback handed it to the runner, and the tackler was there right away for a loss of yardage.
Another carry now for Gore. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. 2 yards gets them back to where they started, but now 3rd and 10.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete. 1 minute 53 ticks left to go in this 1st half. We'll come back to MetLife Stadium after this short timeout. A reminder that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll check in with Larry Ridley in Orlando with highlights and analysis of this 1st half of play.
And I'm going to check in with a heater.
I'm going to be right there with you, partner. And Vinatieri's kick is good. And that will tie us at 3-3. So they had great field position, but a 3-play drive that actually goes backwards, and then they kick the field goal.
And I think the key sequence in there, the key phrase you just gave us, a 3-play drive. Had the momentum, great field position, unable to move the football.
And last year that would have been a net gain of 5 on the return. This year he stopped where he would have been if he had taken a knee, and that's at the 25. The Jets offensive unit ready to get going here. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
No gain on the play there, 2nd down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
2nd down, Fitzpatrick. And it's is incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. The tight end, Luke Wilson, was the target, and it's third down.
Normally, he's pretty reliable. Usually catches what's thrown to him. On that play, he simply dropped it.
So here we go now. An extra defensive back in there on 3rd and 10. Throwing Fitzpatrick. Deep drop. And he locates Luke Wilson. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. They convert on 3rd with a gain of 22. And now they're in the hurry-up. Fitzpatrick now going to give to Forte. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. So the offense takes the timeout, and they are back out and ready to rock. Second down and a little ways to go here. 2nd and 13. Marshall, the lone receiver on the left side. Fitzpatrick now on 2nd down. Over the middle to Smith. And he's brought down. A good pickup there of 20 yards. And they're going to speed things up here. The pitch comes to Forte. And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all. It's Patrick Robinson there on the stop. And here comes play number 6 on this drive. Off the corner. Where'd he come from? Well, yeah, I guess he came off the corner, but really nice play.
I like when you're able to pose a question and answer it at the same time.
And he's going to take it in for a Jets touchdown. Luke Wilson, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Jets have taken the lead.
And that touchdown gives them a touchdown lead before they attempt the extra point. What a great way to end the half.
Yeah, great job to put themselves in front. And now, see on the sideline, special teams defense scrambling, saying we want to preserve this for the final moments of this second quarter. Nick Folk for the point after. And it is up. And it's good. That'll make our score 10-3 now. Folk now set to boot it after his guys put 6 on the board. Here comes Philip Dorsett now to return it. The Jets defense, we watch them get set to go now. And even though that last drive yielded points, it was a long field goal, so they probably weren't too upset about it. Although here, obviously, they'd like to give up 0.
Of course, that's the goal each and every time out. But when they make that type of a field goal that long, you almost give them a little nod of respect to the kicker, like, congratulations. But you do feel pretty good about not giving up anything big.
Yeah, and we'll see if they can not give up anything big on this drive. To throw is Love. And complete to Moncrief over the middle. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. On first down, Love. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So we're back in the offense getting set following the call of that timeout. And now Adam Vinatieri. He's into his 40s now. You'd think now the Jets are going to burn another timeout. So as they take it over, we step aside. And now Adam Vinatieri. He's into his 40s now. You'd think low to mid-50s, probably about the outside of his range. So this will be spotted on the midfield logo. It's a 58-yard attempt. And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice and ambitious effort, but it's well short. So that would have been something from that distance, but to no avail. Comes up empty as we have reached the intermission. As we are off to Orlando now to check in with Larry Ridley. He's standing by with our EA Sports halftime report. Larry?
All right, let's take a look at some of the highlights from the first half. Third down from the 15. Fitzpatrick's got a completion here into coverage, and it's going to end up going for a gain of 12. The drive would wrap up with a pick by the defense. Jets line up at the 36. Fitzpatrick's going to complete the pass, and he'll win the sprint to the end zone. That puts them up by a touchdown. Now 1st and 10. Luck's going to find his mark on the slant, and the play will come to an end after a gain of 20. That'll do it from here in Orlando. Let's get back up to New York as we turn it back over to Brandon Guy.
So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And this will be a touchback. Last year would have come out to the 20. This year they'll move it out to the 25-yard line. Out come the Colts. They'll have it first here to start quarter number 3. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. On first down, it's Love. Left side, it's Dorsett. And he is out of bounds on the other side of midfield.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd. Defense has set themselves up nicely. 3rd and 10 now. Throwing on 3rd down. Luck. Open man, it's Allen. And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. Dwayne Allen, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Colts are an extra point away from tying up this football game. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. Now Adam Vinatieri for the point after. And he'll put it through, and that evens us up at 10 apiece. So all square here in this 3rd quarter as the kick's away. This will be fielded at the 8. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were competent enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away. First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Three yards remaining here on second down. Again, we'll see the pistol here. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Another run, this time Forte. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. It goes as a loss of 6. And now third down. Well, there they went blitz defensively, Charles, and things were paved well coming from the linebacker position.
I love the way that you described it, paved well. Oftentimes, the guy who gets home on the blitz, he's going to get all the credit, but his teammates did all the dirty work, right? They ran into people on purpose. They sometimes tugged on jerseys to hold linemen to create space and gaps. And that play finished off really, really well. Well-conceived, well-designed, and even better executed.
Fitzpatrick with a give to Forte. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. And he has not been able to find the same type of running room this week as last. Such a great game. We met with him. He came in, had the biggest smile on his face, so we just thought that would carry over.
Sometimes you wonder if maybe it borders on a little overconfidence. They were so good last week. He's getting extra blocking out on the perimeter from the wide receivers to get him downfield. In this game, maybe he came into it with the idea that it's just going to be like last week, be a piece of cake. And what they're getting from the defense isn't exactly the same. And, boy, it's been tough going for him. We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
And on third down, the Colts have added an extra defensive back.
Flooding the passing lanes.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. C.O. Moore in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that'll lead to a fourth down. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
Here's Lachlan Edwards now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. Here comes the Colts offense now as they make their way onto the field. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out. I thought guys that were over 30 weren't supposed to run the football this well in the National Football League. How about that veteran leadership? A big-time run combined with some nice blocking by his offensive line, showing that the ins and outs of being a veteran still has his place in this league. His odometer is not totally turned over yet.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. And the evidence shows last week's game, it's really leaked into a second game now, Charles. What do you think of this?
And it's a surprise, isn't it? Because when we spent time watching them practice, talking with the coaches, they felt like a bounce back was going to happen this week. They were very confident in the game plan, thought the defenses they would see would present great opportunities for big-time runs. We're not getting that so far. I don't know if it's the game plan or if they're just being overwhelmed by the defense they're facing.
And he is out of bounds inside the 35.
As far as I'm concerned, Andrew Luck can do it all. I mean, he's an underrated runner. Toughness in the pocket, strong and stout, but let's face it, the money, that comes from his arm.
And smart, valedictorian of his high school class in Houston, then he goes to Stanford. He's got it all. Complete to Dorsett. 1 quarter remaining. happens here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. Knotted up here at 10. That's our score as we begin quarter number 4. Second down and 4. They'll come out in the pistol. And Luck hands this one off to Gore. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down. And the offense there, the O-line, everybody really on offense, they were just manhandled at the point of attack.
Yeah, you could pretty much call them all out, couldn't you? Almost by name, right? That was a very tough sequence for the offensive line. But how about that defensive front creating a new line of scrimmage and creating a lost yardage possibility?
On the right side, it's Hilton with a catch. Give him 6 yards, and they do convert on third.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. His throw caught at about the 5. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. T.Y. Hilton, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Colts have broken our tie as they take the lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Now after the touchdown, here's Pat McAfee to kick. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. The New York set to take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. And they get 28 yards on that one. And it's good for a New York first down.
Every player I know tends to play the game in his mind before it actually happens. There's no way he thought that at this stage of the game, this would be his first big run like that.
Yeah, but it's got to feel for him like the floodgates open, a sigh of relief. Now we'll see if things can open up for him.
See if it can continue.
They go play action here on first down. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
I think we need to come up with a different name for this position. We keep calling it the fullback position. That doesn't necessarily mean it's a fullback, but we know this. Whoever's coming out of that spot is usually bigger and stronger, and they may not run away from people, but they'll run through them.
Yeah, able to shed tacklers. We saw it right there. They got 2 of the 3 they needed there. Leaves them with 3rd and just a yard. Third down now following the run. Fitzpatrick will sneak it. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
They pick it up on 3rd and 1 on the quarterback sneak, and that's not easily done because there are extra bodies in there on the defensive side, and they're moving forward at the snap.
Yeah, I was certainly expecting a handoff, weren't you?
Yeah, I totally was. I thought they'd go with a back, maybe try and get a lead blocker in front. But as you talked about in different games, those guys with confidence in their offensive line, they just want to move forward and get it.
Only 3 there on the screen. It's 2nd down.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed, but all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big game.
Now Fitzpatrick. And this is complete. It's Marshall. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Their big-bodied receiver. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Jets are an extra point away from tying this thing up. Well, you know he can be explosive, and he's ultra-explosive there on the fly route.
And you know how many times we've talked to coaches and we've had quoted back to us, well, you know something? When you execute really well, it doesn't matter if they know it's coming or not. Well, sometimes athleticism beats you as well. He just took off and went. That's almost like one of your Turkey Bowl games, isn't it? Just go long,
Backyard.
man. I'll hit you. And it worked really well for them.
And he knocks it through. That time, a 6-play drive. And the gadget play gets him into the end zone. Set to go now with the kickoff. These two teams all even again as we continue in this wild 4th quarter. This will be taken in at the 1. And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. We focus our attention now on the Jets defense. And a touchdown given up the last time they were out there, so maybe need to refocus a little bit.
And make sure that they don't start finger-pointing with each other, because oftentimes when a touchdown's given up, you say, okay, where did that happen? Who broke down? Who gave it up? Instead, just go back out there, be a unit again, and try and play a little bit better.
Yeah, see if they can play a little bit better on this drive. Now a first down throw. Luck. He's got time. Allen's got it over the middle. And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40. Hitting the home stretch here in a great game, a tie game. Let's see if the defense can get the stop they need to get the ball back. They run. It's Gore. And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41. Couple of Jets there in on the stop.
Like any team, they would have loved to have had more yards on that run, but it looks like they just want to get to the 2-minute warning and see what they want to do after that.
Time for a break. We'll come back and see how it all shakes out after this. So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do. And it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once.
Now here's a timeout defensively. Defensive timeout called by the Jets. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Again, they run. Again, it's Gore. And he'll take this inside the... Now the Jets are going to burn another timeout. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Let's see what the offense comes with here. 2nd and 8. Now another carry here tonight for Gore. And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line. Now hang on here. Timeout called by the defense. That'll be their 3rd and final stoppage here as we step aside. They got to get to the 20 to keep the drive alive on 3rd down. He can run for it, and he will. And a short gain here down to the 22. 4 yards on the pickup there, but it's going to take him to 4th down. So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. This to take the lead here in the final minute. And Vinatieri's kick is good. And the sideline celebrates as they have taken the lead in the final minute. All right, so time to reset here. It's a huge kick there, gives them the lead, but they've got to be careful that their celebrations aren't a little too premature.
You're exactly right about that, because there still is time for the other guys to run a few plays and get into field goal position. So this defense is going to need to come up with one final stop if they're going to get out of here with a victory.
Here's Matt Forte as he gets set to go and heads back out there. And the numbers show the improvement, and this is kind of what we thought we would expect to see from him. I know we overanalyze these things sometimes, but what switch? What's flipped that switch?
Sometimes I think when you're as great as he is, you just kind of roll out each game and expect good things to happen. And that's not always the case. Those guys on the other side of the ball, they're the NFL 2 for a reason. So maybe at halftime he gets a chance to regroup, kind of get it back together, get a little extra resolve, and now he's putting it into practice.
It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll bring up a second down. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up. And they're able to stop it here on the spike with 3 seconds remaining. Third down and 5. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. One last shot now for Fitzpatrick. Surveying the field. He's going to let it fly. And this is incomplete. So no miracles here on the final play. And this ball game is over. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still, you're wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for the Colts, they pick up win number 4 on the campaign as they emerge victorious here. And they'll head back home next week to take on the Houston Texans. Meanwhile, for the Jets, they fall to 6-6 now on the campaign. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Santa Clara to take on the 49ers. So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we say good night, everybody.